Welcome back to another exciting edition of the RECRAP on the Pointless Exercise Podcast Network. Now, there's only one, just me. But Oleg is here to talk about the disappointing Bears loss. I didn't bother to watch the last drive of regulation. I just decided they're done. Nothing exciting is going to happen. Screw them. So I don't even know how. So what, 17-10? That's how they lost?
Yeah.
Final score?
Let me ask you this, Andy, in all seriousness. What is the over-under a number of times you're going to watch that throw between now and
Well, now I can. It's nice to have some variety, right? Because now I can just watch the one. We got so many now to put in the playlist. We've got Caleb to DJ at the back of the end zone in the Browns game. We have Caleb to DJ to walk off the Packers. We have Caleb to roam on 4th down. We have Caleb to DJ for the for the go-ahead touchdown against the Packers. And now we have just pull it out of your ass from a 14-yard bomb.
Yeah.
He threw a 14-yard bomb.
The ball went 40 yards in the air.
All right, before we get to that, though, we have a new sponsor. You're going to like this one. It's the Cubs. Tom Ricketts is finally, and wait till you hear what tickets are going to cost. I got to learn how to do this. I got to turn my volume down, otherwise it echoes. Okay, wait to hear what tickets are going to cost this year.
Hi, Vince Lloyd.
And Lou Boudreau.
With season's greeting.
This season, why not put the Cubs in someone's stocking?
Well, Lou, Kingman's never going to fit in there.
No, but this will. A Cubs Christmas gift certificate.
Hey, and how about giving your best girl?
There's a beautiful catch by Bill Buckner.
And it costs just $6.50 for a box seat, $5 for reserve grandstand.
And why not treat the kids, too?
Another stolen base by Aunt Bea-Opie.
Just call Jerry Ferran at 248-7900 for your Cubs Christmas gift certificates, and then put
a great double play by the Cubs.
It in someone's stocking.
This Christmas, give the gift of sunshine and excitement.
And all the surprises of Wrigley Field.
Yep, that's the ticket.
A Cubs ticket.
Call Jerry Ferran at 248-7900 and order yours now.
Merry box seat, a happy reserve grandstand.
And the best of holiday cheer.
This year, give the Cubs for Christmas.
Cubs Christmas gift certificates.
Did they literally give somebody's name to call?
Is it somebody's name?
You said give somebody. Ask for Vince or Lou.
Yeah.
That's what we have to do all winter. Is we have to sell tickets.
And they're selling so they're gift certificates that are worth one ticket.
Yes, $6.50, $5 for a reserve grandstand. You come give the gift of watching Avanda Jesus. Let's face it, get thrown out trying to see it. Let's be honest. All right, now we can focus on the most important thing: the Bears. It's the end of a Bears season, so I'm going into default mode. Fire everybody. Fire Ben Johnson. Let's get a real quarterback. I can't wait. I want to see what this Jarrett Stidham. I want to see the cut of his jib next week because I'll bet that's the guy we're going to want to trade Caleb for.
Andy, check this out. You don't have to worry about any of that.
What? No. No, when the Bears lose, when the season's over, we fire the coach. We got to go find a new quarterback. That's what we do. It's a tradition unlike any other.
The season was a failure. They didn't even get a look at Tyson Bagent all year.
It's funny when
what we have next year.
It's funny when I heard that Bo Nix broke his foot.
Yeah,
which is I don't like Sean Payton's a prick. I don't like the Broncos that much, but that really sucks. And it sucks for us, the home viewer. The Patriots are probably going to go to the Super Bowl.
I know, right?
They're not good.
No,
they played two teams that just pissed up their leg.
No,
but I remember I was thinking to myself, if it had been Caleb that broke his foot, there'd be a whole bunch of Bear fans like, it doesn't matter. Now, finally we can see the way this offense is supposed to run with Tyson. He's just like Jared Goff. This will be better. The Bears' point spread went down when they heard that Caleb wasn't going to play because now it's going to unleash Tyson Bagent.
Yeah, earlier in the game during the broadcast, when they were kind of making a big deal of, I don't know, Caleb did something to his hand, whatever.
Yeah,
it
he hit
was.
his hand on. He didn't. Oh, but that's what Stafford did last week in Carolina. Right. He hit his hand on the guy while the guy was hitting him in the head.
Oh,
and they didn't call it.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was an interception. That was a 4th down interception. That was a big deal. But that should have been illegal blow to the head, 1st and goal Bears, where they could have run 4 plays and probably not scored anyway. But still, we would have liked to have seen it.
Yeah, it would have been 4 more plays. Yeah, so they were kind of making a big deal out of that. And so it was like, oh, man, great. Now we'll get to see Tyson Bagent.
I figured that when NBC wasn't showing Caleb when the Rams had the ball, I was like, well, that's fine. Because if he'd gone in the blue tent, we'd be all over it. If they were looking at his hand, they'd be all over it.
Yeah.
So I was like, he's fine. And then finally they showed him. He's just doing what he always does, just sitting on the bench.
Yep.
They asked Peyton Manning once when he was playing, because that's what he would do, just sit on the bench. And they're like, shouldn't you be up there cheering for your teammates? Peyton's like, that's kind of implied.
Yeah.
Like, I'm getting ready for the next time we have the ball. And he said it's kind of nice to sit down once in a while. I thought it was funny.
Do they think that I'm rooting against them?
They show Peyton he's got a rolly stool and he's on the sidelines cheering while sitting. Hey!
That's like one time I have no idea how this relates to that, but we were playing softball. We're trying to get sponsorship, so we got sponsorship from the bar. And we're like, hey, do you want us to get jerseys with the bar name on it? And the bar owner was like, no, I couldn't care less. We're like, why? He's like, I don't know. I just care that you guys come in to drink afterwards. That's all. Like, I don't care if anybody, like, what do I care if everybody knows?
It's very benevolent of him. It's like, no, we can't handle, you guys filled the bar. Like, we can't handle more people. Might as well just keep it a secret. As long as you come.
Well, it was like, he's like, I don't, if you guys want jerseys, make jerseys, and I'm not paying for them.
When I was the first year I played Little League, we had old hand-me-down. We were 8 years old. We had old hand-me-downs from like the 10 and 11-year-old team.
Okay.
And they were nice though. I've seen pictures of us, they're too big because, they're too, but they were button-ups. By then it was like T-shirts with iron-on numbers, but these were button-ups, and they had sewn onto the back the sponsor over and under your number, but everyone had a different sponsor. And one of the kids had the McCorkle Funeral Home on his uniform, and even at 8 years old, we thought that was the funniest thing in the world. And
wait,
you throw like a dead guy, which is appropriate.
Did every team have a different sponsor, or every kid?
No. On that, they must have gone out and did like a thing. We all had a different business. There were only like 12 of us, but it was like, they probably charged like $50. I don't know what it was. Back then, 1980, 81.
Yeah.
It was probably $20. And they just went around. I had the True Value hardware store on mine.
Wow.
But a couple of guys had one of them would have had the Farmer's Tap. That's the one you would have wanted.
Oh, yeah.
Was the Farmer's Tap. And the other one would have had the Durand Inn on his. That was the other bar. Those were the two
That was the bar, okay. Yeah, that way, hey, remember me when I turned 16. Don't card me.
Put my picture up.
Yeah.
I remember how hard I played for you when I was 8. Yeah, what a crazy game. Like, if you had told me, any of us, that the Bears were going to give up 17 points.
Right. Like, great.
In regulation, you would have been like, holy crap, they won.
Yeah.
They had to go to I don't know if they had to, but it worked. They went to the seemingly desperate move of moving Joe Tooney to left tackle and playing some guy we'd never heard of at left guard, and it worked.
Swimmingly, better than anybody could have hoped. Like, Caleb had kind of, relatively little pressure. They kept running the ball to the right, like, hilariously so, like, the Collinsworth notices.
But I think, and you think the guy who owns Pro Football Focus could have told us this. I think they mostly do anyway.
Do they? All right.
Maybe not quite to this exaggerated effect. I have a feeling they weren't so much running away from I think they felt like they must have had a matchup they liked with Darnell and Jonah
Maybe.
Jackson,
Yeah.
who are their two biggest linemen.
Yeah.
And we just decided, fuck, we're just going to run. But they, the thing that drove me nuts, it's driven me nuts all year, but this game was, would it kill them to ever get a first down on second down? They're so good at getting 1 yard short on every second down. And he just put you in this, oh God, now it's 3rd and 1 again. Or it was always 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, or 3rd and 3, over and over and over again.
I'm not sure. Like, I was thinking about this going into the game. Like, I don't know if it's hubris. I don't know if it's good or bad or whatever. I feel like Ben Johnson doesn't think of anything in a vacuum. Like, nothing is just that singular play. Like, it's always planned out over, all right, I have 4 plays to get a first down. I have this amount of drives. I have this amount of possessions to score this amount of points. Like, I think like, and so that's why, like, he goes for it on 4th down. Like, he doesn't care if he misses on 4th down every once in a while. He knows when it does hit, these are going to be big plays. And I think that's what, like, it's just this, like, he thinks of things in the macro, it feels like. It's not about any individual. He doesn't care if he gets a first down on 2nd down or not. He's got 4 plays to get a first down.
I'm just saying, for me, for my own mental health, it would be nice if every once in a while they would just get a. In fact, the interception Caleb threw in overtime, the only part of it that pissed me off, well, part of it was in the replay, DJ not exactly humping it to get to where his route was supposed to go, but it was a 2nd down interception. Yeah. It's like, you don't need to take a chance on 2nd down. You've got 3rd down. If you force it on 3rd down, there gets picked off, big deal. You're trying to get, they weren't in field goal range yet. I guess they probably would have gone for it. I probably were in 4 down territory there, because it seems like every place is 4 down territory for Ben.
That's what I mean. Like, he knows.
But that was the only part of it. It's like, you don't have to take a chance on 2nd down, right? Like, you have more bullets to fire after that. But then on the replay from behind Caleb, like, he clearly throws it to a vacated area. That guy had to curl in and make a great catch. And if there's a Bear receiver there, chances are he would have actually caught the ball.
Yeah.
Oh, well. When it was funny, when the pass on the last drive that Colston ended up getting hurt on, he had, some of them were real drops, some of them were just, it's a tough catch, and he gets his hands on it, he couldn't catch it. But Caleb, that ball hit him right in the sternum at about 140 miles an hour. And I was like, Caleb just decided, I'm just going to stick this between your shoulder pads so you can't drop it. And then he was out, because I think he probably broke his sternum with the pass.
Yeah, that was some.
They ran it 39 times for 160 yards.
They played a good game. Like,
the Rams ran it 31 times for 111. The Bears defense did a good job.
Yeah, the defense was really good all game. Like, they covered the receivers. Adams didn't do anything.
And I was agreeing with Collinsworth more than normal. But when Ben went for it on the first 4th down, I think he's thinking, like we all are, this is like we're gonna have to score like 40 points to win tonight.
Yep. And
then after the Rams' first drive, where they went, right down the field, and you're like, oh shit, this is exactly what's going to happen. They didn't do that again.
No,
and I just didn't see this Bears team being able to do that. They can't get much of a pass rush with 4 guys, and they had to. But it's funny. CJ Gardner-Johnson is not that good of a football player. I mean, he's a good guy to have around. He's lost a step. You still get all the shit with him where he's trying to pick fights with everybody all the time.
Yeah, same thing.
But having him and Kyler, was important, really important.
Yeah. Well, Kyler was really good.
Yeah, he was really good today.
Briscoe was really good. Like, they kept showing it. Like, it seemed like the blitzes worked in the first half. Then it almost like Dennis Allen needed to adjust for the sake of adjusting, and then got away from blitzing a little bit, so they didn't get as much pressure. But that was the other thing that they were right about. It seemed like you knew that Stafford wasn't going to run. He wasn't getting out of the pocket, so it was pretty easy to blitz him. I don't know if Puka was hurt or.
Yeah, no, Puka 5 for 56. I would have, if you'd have told me they were going to keep him under 12 catches, I would have been shocked.
Yeah,
and he only had 5.
Yeah. He just didn't seem right. I mean, Adams couldn't get anything going. Like I'll say this, and maybe I don't know if this is the time to look to next year. That secondary is really good. That is they. I mean,
Yeah,
when
when
Jalen Johnson is on, and when Gordon and Brisker are good, like holy shit.
that really was missing
he was
Jalen
good.
for as much of the season as they did, and then got Kyler until basically last week.
Yep.
That was by far the biggest problem that the defense had. That and they ran out of linebackers, but
Yeah.
DeMarco Jackson did fine.
Yeah. Like if Edmonds doesn't come back next year,
Yeah, I don't know how much maneuvering they really need to do. I mean, if they're gonna make if they want to go after like Max Crosby, then you got to move.
Yeah,
they
they
got to
need
fit a big salary.
they need
But I'm
one
sure
more
they
guy for
can with DJ and Kmet and
Yeah.
Edmonds. I'm sure those are contracts you can redo and spread the money out a little longer so that it lowers, so you can add a guy or two. And I would guess they're going to probably most of their draft class is going to be defense.
right.
You know, it was because they really don't have very many offensive spots to fill even.
Right, and they got
They
the
just
second
find a
round
left tackle.
Well, the guy, the kid that they took in the second round last year, right from was it Texas A&M, Turner?
Yeah,
Turner,
Shamar.
yeah,
who
he was out all
blew
year.
out his knee in the Bengals game, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe the Steelers game. I could picture him hopping off the field, just like Ozzie Trapillo.
And now you may need a left tackle all of a sudden.
Yeah,
or
'cause
maybe
there was-
not. Like if
There
this
was
whole-
listen to Robert Mays, and he had a very sobering stat because Ozzie ruptured his patella tendon. And
Yeah.
they said offensive linemen who've had that
Yeah.
injury, like 35% of them never play again.
Yeah.
Because it depends how you rupture it. Now, that guy, is it Josh Simmons? He was the hotshot offensive lineman from Ohio State who tore his on his pro day, and then the Chiefs got him. He ended up being fine. He played. So maybe it's a matter that they kind of like the ACL surgery has improved to the point where it's kind of an inconvenience. So maybe they know how to rehab a big dude with a patella tendon tear, but you have to at least be prepared for the fact that.
Well, if this works, this McFadden guy made it wasn't even Benedict. Like, I don't know. Maybe they all of a sudden do have a little bit of depth that they could go to. And maybe that's okay, right? The important thing is they have 3 years of Caleb rookie scale contract.
But it was funny. When they said they're starting McFadden, I'm like, who is that?
Right,
I've never heard of this guy.
Totally.
Jordan McFadden.
Yeah. Wasn't Darren?
From Clemson. He is. How old are you, Jordan? He's 26.
All right.
He was drafted by the Chargers in the 5th round in the 23 draft. And he played 12 games as a rookie for the Chargers. Started 2 games.
All right.
And then 1 game last year. And he played in 7 for the Bears. He must have played special teams, right? Because he'd only taken like 3 snaps, offensive snaps or something, they said. So, yeah, he's a guy. I mean, you have a Hall of Fame left guard in Jim Tooney. But it's nice to know there's a guy that can at least,
you could plug in.
You have a third guard if something happens. Because kind of like the Cubs and their weird health last year, except for the Bears' offensive line. I mean, left tackle was a little in and out.
Right.
They were healthy. Their offensive from Tooney over, that line played all the time. Darnell tore his needs Tommy John surgery.
Is that right?
That's why he wears the elbow brace.
Oh.
He tore his ulnar collateral ligament.
Oh.
And
he was saying it, but when he back right away.
I don't think he missed a game.
He did. I thought he did. But what the hell? Why do pitchers miss so much time then?
Because he doesn't have to throw.
This dude could play football, but
They were saying that he was having fun hitting dudes in practice with his brace.
Really?
He was amusing himself by hitting them with the brace. Like, oh, this is kind of fun. And they're like, we should just knock it off. Could you just save that?
That's awesome.
Okay, so you're saying we don't have to fire the coach and we don't have to get a new quarterback.
I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I'm not. It's not like there's always a chance that we should, right? It's not.
I mean, Caleb last pass of the season was interception.
Right. Like seriously.
I mean, it's all downhill from here.
Yeah.
We've seen the best of him.
He couldn't even throw for 4,000 yards.
It is kind of crazy to think. And I know, I mean, there's the whole people are going to make a big deal when already the projections for next year. People are going to be like, wow, they won 7 games when they trailed in the last 2 minutes. Today would have been 8. You can't do that every year, blah, 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 blah. It's like, yeah, because they'll get better and they won't need to do that.
Right.
Like some of these games that they were trailing and they won't be trailing next year.
Yeah, 100%.
And I get it. You could have bad luck, or you could have injuries, you could have whatever. But the most important things you can have on a football team, they have. Finally.
Yeah, the coach and a quarterback.
And it's amazing how much easier it makes building the team and improving the team when you don't have to start over at those two spots over and over and over.
Yeah, exactly. Like that you could like I was saying, they're fine. I'd be fine if they traded their first round pick for some awesome player.
Now the problem they're going to have is their first round pick is going to be like 20. How many teams are left? 4.
Yeah.
So it's going to be somewhere from 27 to 23, right? 28, 29, 30, 31. It's going to be 28 to somewhere.
Sure.
So it's not as easy to use that to get a guy as it is when it's like 10.
Well, sure.
Your first round picks are not as valuable.
Yeah,
so
you may
probably
have the deal.
So there could be other teams that have a more attractive package for Max Crosby. But the Bears probably have they probably have a player that the Raiders might want. Who knows? They can worry about that.
Dale.
Do you want our guy with the ruptured Achilles?
Yeah, I got to do some.
Well, it's the Raiders.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I know Tom Brady's going to be calling the shots this year, but I'm pretty sure he hired Chip Kelly last year, and that was a disaster. So doesn't mean he's got any of this shit figured out.
Yeah, but it's nice. Like it's good to. It sucks that they lost. It was a hell of a game. It sucks that they lost, but like it's so nice to be able to like just say, yeah, like they lost, and now let's, the expectations now are real for next year.
Why didn't they go for 2? They could have avoided overtime. Why didn't they go for 2? Huh? There's somebody complaining about that. I don't know, because for the first time all year, their defense was playing well and they didn't have to. And it worked. They got the ball back in overtime with a chance to kick a field goal and win the game.
And I thought didn't need to go for 2. I thought for sure, like it was, there was no doubt that they were going to march down the field when they got the ball back in overtime.
Well, especially, and you thought the Bears, it's over, Bears are going to win?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It was kind of
funny.
Well,
I thought when they went for it and they ran the sneak with Caleb and he got the first down and they only needed, Kyle's were saying 15 yards. I think going that way, you probably needed to get, you can run Cairo out from the 30, but I'd rather be at like the 25 or the 20.
Yeah.
Poor little Brazilian who was he did it again. He's wearing a stocking cap under his helmet. It's like, no, Cairo, so his helmet is sitting like too high on his head. It's like, I know you're from Brazil, but you've lived here long enough. Can't you take the stocking cap off, go kick, put it back on?
Like, didn't somebody used to do that? Put the stocking hat
over?
Huh?
Well, it's a bunch of guys that wear maybe that he should, if he's cold, he should wear one of the Guardian caps.
Do they still do that? Do players still put the stocking cap over the helmet?
Has anybody actually worn a stocking cap over their helmet? Like Mumbles from...
I feel like maybe. Like in a cartoon?
Fat Albert? Wear it over his eyes? Oh my God, Cairo's facing the wrong way. Pull your stocking cap up. No, you're kicking the other end. Oh, this is a disaster. Oh. The Bears lose because Cairo kicked the ball to the wrong end zone. Oh, it's terrible.
Why did they snap the ball?
I think I said it right before we went on, not after, though, that when Caleb made the ridiculous 4th down throw.
Yeah.
And I was very excited, and I immediately thought to myself, even if they don't win now, we got one more ridiculous thing. And it is. It was incredible. You just knew they weren't going to go down like without something like that.
Yeah.
They're not, that was incredible. That was literally somebody's supposed to be in that corner of the end zone. So I'm just going to throw the ball there. Because he can't see. There's no way he could see.
And he threw
I wonder if he had known it was Cole if he'd have thrown it. He probably thought it was Colston. Oh, he'll catch it. Throw it in the air. It's like, oh, fuck, it's Komet. Oh, he caught it.
And it was still like
he'll have something to talk about on his podcast all summer. Good for him.
it was on an absolute diet. It was just in a crazy spot.
It was a super easy catch.
Yeah.
I like the Rams complaining that Cole pushed off, and he didn't. But it's like, even if he did, tough shit. They're not calling that, buddy.
Right.
You're not getting that call. You guys could have knocked that. We could have tackled him when he was 30 yards behind the line of scrimmage, running in circles. You didn't have to.
I'm going to watch that play so often. So often. Like, somebody's got to make a highlight video, like, of all of the, like, just incredible throws of the year. Right?
There's a lot of them.
Holy cow.
A little longer than the Mitch Trubisky one. Or, I don't know. I still think if they'd have kept Justin, they probably would have won today.
If they would have kept Eberflus.
How about the fact that defensive stars of the game, Jaquan Brisker and Kyler Gordon, Ryan Poles' first 2 draft pick?
Yeah.
His 3rd draft pick played running back for the Seahawks yesterday for a play.
Who was that?
Velus Jones.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
I was looking forward. The NFC Championship was going to be the Velus Jones revenge game.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize. Oh, holy cow.
Yeah, it's the first game he suited up for in forever. I forget who was hurt, but he's just a running back for them. They even gave him a running back number. He's 32.
Oh, wow.
He lined up. I think he only played the one play. They did not give him the ball.
Good for him. Good for him. Man. That was, yeah.
No turnovers, right? The Bears didn't get a turnover?
No, I don't think so. Again.
And then
they still almost won. So I guess that it might blow that theory out that they have to get turnovers. Defense just played well today. They're really good against those pocket passers, I guess. And the
8 punts.
Yeah.
Now the punter for the Rams is from Mount Airy, North Carolina. Do you know what Mount Airy, North Carolina is famous for?
I don't.
It was Mayberry. It's where they filmed the Andy Griffith Show.
Really?
Yes.
Holy cow.
So he's from Mayberry.
Is he related to any of the extras, or like
he's Ron Howard, one of Ron Howard's illegitimate sons. He's Ron Howard, he's Ron Howard's illegitimate grandson. His dad was the product of Aunt Bea and Opie. Pretty sure even if that happened, Francis Bouvier, I don't know how you say her name. Something French. Bouvier, probably maybe too old.
Opie was like 10
And then their
years old.
kicker, Harrison Mevis, the big fat guy.
Mm-hmm.
He
reminds you of Sebastian Janikowski.
He's from Warsaw, Indiana, and went to college at Missouri, so he's used to kicking in weather like this. When the fuck would he have kicked in high school or college in the middle of January?
Yeah.
Never.
Right.
He's not. I got news for you. He's not used to this.
No.
It's almost as good as Nance kept going on and on about all the Bills who played in who were either from Utah or Montana.
Uh-huh.
And how they were used to the altitude. And I was like, Jim, I think maybe somebody needs to talk to you about how acclimation works. Because just because they're from there, they've been living in Buffalo. And I'm pretty sure that's not a mountain.
I was driving around earlier today, and I was listening to the NFL Network on Sirius XM. Who was on? I don't remember who was on.
The Jim Miller? I thought Jim Miller was always on that station.
No.
24 hours a day.
No. Who was it? It was probably about 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, so somebody was talking about how Matthew Stafford actually knows what it's like to play in the cold.
Yeah.
Because he played in Detroit. Well, the Dome.
And they're like, well, but he played games in Green Bay and Chicago, and and then there were a couple of years in Minnesota had to play outside, and it's like, yeah, well, you remember how fucking bad the Lions were?
Right.
So I don't think did he ever play? I don't know. I don't remember him playing terribly well. I was really surprised. Collinsworth didn't mention until late that they weren't making, because Stafford had a lot of bad throws, a lot.
Yeah.
And they weren't making a bigger deal out of his finger. I thought that was going to be all finger all the time, but he didn't until like late. And he's like, I wonder if it had anything to do with that finger of his. Where did Collinsworth get that weird accent? I guess it just depends what part of Florida he's from, because that is the South.
I thought he was just trying to sound more folksy.
Well, I think that might be an affect, but hey. I did like Tirico when they showed the replay of the Caleb's touchdown to Komet. They're going to commercial, and he goes, "Here's one of the greatest playoff throws ever." He like screamed ever. Like, well, you're not wrong.
That's right. That was so ridiculous. Like I'm seriously like, yeah. I'll see it a lot.
Yeah, Bears had a lot. I don't know how many official drops they had, but it seemed like a lot.
Well, they had the DJ Moore had one. But DJ just didn't play a great game. I don't know what.
Rome had one. Rome dropped a touchdown pass on the first drive.
Yes.
You got to catch that. That's a good. That's a good pass. You got to catch it.
Yeah.
Burton Loveland had 3 or 4 that clanked off his hands. I don't know how catchable a couple of them were, but
the Bears weren't used to.
There were a lot of yards left on the field.
Yes. Yeah.
One pass that I saw him throwing it, and I thought this is going to end in disaster. It almost did. Was when there was nobody to throw to, and they'd run that play where Benedict ran a pass pattern.
Oh yeah, and he threw it to him.
It's like, and of course the ball bounces off his hands straight in the air. It's like, oh no. He's no Jim Flanagan.
Right?
You can't be throwing to him. And I don't know how like taped up Theo's hands are anyway. Usually linemen have all that.
Yeah, right. Know. Like, I don't know how.
And I doubt he's much of a pass.
The dexterity of the hands.
He's running a route to try to get somebody to cover him. You're not supposed to throw it to him. And I know there wasn't anybody else. Caleb's like, let's find this. No. On the last, that was the last drive, right? The beginning of that last drive? Or maybe second to last. They had one where, so they had it, then they stopped him. Oh, and I want to go through the timing, because I think it was wrong. I think both McVay and Ben fucked it up.
Like on the last...
So I think that pass to Benedict was on when the Bears went down and didn't score. They went for it at the goal line, didn't score. And then then they forced the punt. They got it back and they scored to tie it. I think the Benedict pass it had to be, because it was deep, and they weren't deep the second time. Okay, so Ben's using his timeouts at the end. And...
Wait, sorry. Ben, say that again? Ben
Johnson. Yeah. At the end of regulation. Rams have the ball. Bears trying to get the ball back.
Yeah.
And Tirico gave him credit for like a really smart move. And at first I thought it was a smart move too. Was when it was like 2:52 or something, he didn't call it. He made the Rams go up and run a play.
Right.
And they're like, that's good, because now the Rams can't pass on this next pass because it's 2:07, but they could have, because if you throw a pass at 2:07 and you don't run, when you punt, the 2-minute warning is going to pass. 2-minute warning is going to happen. The 2-minute warning is going to happen on the punt, which isn't going to save the Bears any time. So,
it could have at a fair catch.
McVay called a run, and the NBC broadcast said that he was kind of trapped. He couldn't throw a pass there, but he absolutely could have thrown it. Ben actually gave him like a free pass on that third down, because.
So wait, what you're saying is with the play that they ran with 2:07 left.
The third down play was with 2:07, and they ran the ball, and Tirico said they had to run it because you needed to get to the warning, but you don't need to get to the warning.
If you throw an incomplete pass, then there's 2:07 left.
No, it's already 2:07.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
So you could throw a pass, and even if you didn't get to 2 minutes, say it's 2:01, fourth down is a punt.
Well, if it's an incomplete pass and there's more than 2 minutes left,
the clock stops on the change of possession regardless. So the 2-minute warning just poofs away.
No, right. No, well, yeah. Yeah, I guess it really doesn't matter at the end of the day, unless it's a bad punt or, unless you return it or whatever. But yeah.
No, I'm saying no.
If the punt is on the other side of the 2-minute warning, Then
if
it
you
goes
punt,
down to the 2-minute warning anyway, and the clock
Yes.
was stopped anyway.
right,
If
they
the
don't
punt's
stop it on the next
2-minute
play.
warning, it doesn't matter when the 2-minute warning happens.
No.
Right.
But Tirico was giving Ben credit for maneuvering it to a point where he trapped McVay into having to run the ball.
Right.
But he didn't have to. McVay could
Right.
have easily thrown a pass there.
Even in an incomplete pass, the punt would have still gotten down to 2-minute warning. Wouldn't matter.
Bears would have got the ball with the exact
Yeah.
same amount of time, where it basically gave him a free chance to throw a pass.
Yeah.
I don't think Ben cared. And McVay clearly was like, fuck it, we're not risking a pass down here. But I thought it was funny when Tirico was like, look at this. Look at the big brain on this guy. It's like, well, no. If he'd have called it earlier, you could have actually trapped them in a spot where they had to.
Yeah, because then there's a bunch of time left, and
right, to where it's like, well, fuck, if we throw in a complete pass here, we're gonna have to punt with like 2:20 left.
Right.
They're gonna fair catch the punt, and they're gonna run a play and get a 2-minute warning and still have a timeout left.
Right.
As it was, the Bears scored with too much time anyway, like 18 seconds. And the Rams went ahead and took a knee. Oh, that's right. Didn't matter. They played for overtime like cowards.
Huh.
They should have run like the lateral play where they just throw it all over, and then they could have thrown it backwards, and one of the Bears could have scooped it up and run it in for a touchdown, and the Bears could have won.
That would have been a great ending, huh?
And then the Bears would be going to Seattle to try to deal with that defense.
It's all good.
I think the Rams have a good chance to go to the Super Bowl, except for the fact that I think the Bears beat the shit out of them.
Like physically, like they're hurt, and they're
like the Seahawks basically got like the Niners were no match.
Right.
The Seahawks were basically like, I mean, Drew Lock was playing in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
it was like a bye, and the Rams were a little beat up, like missing some guys anyway. But now that was a good game.
I just think the Seahawks are just peaking at the right time. They're just
I think they're good. Sam Darnold scares me, not because I don't think Sam Darnold's bad, right? Like he was bad. He's now a good quarterback,
sure,
but he's not.
He could go back to having a bad game. Like it
I mean, he may have gone to USC. Did he win the Heisman too?
Sam Darnold? No,
he didn't. Because he was a big hyped dude at USC. But that was the year Baker won it. But he's no Caleb.
Oh, dude.
And he's no Matthew Stafford. But yeah, I think the Seahawks are good. I think Seahawks.
Yeah, Seahawks are good.
Given that you're either going to face the Patriots or the Broncos with a backup quarterback in the Super Bowl.
Holy cow.
I think the winner of Rams Seahawks is going to win the Super Bowl.
Think
about that. If the Bears had won tonight and upset the Seahawks, they'd have a really good chance to win the Super Bowl.
If the Bears would have won tonight, there was no reason to think that they couldn't beat the Seahawks. I don't think the Seahawks are really, really good, right? They're good, but the Bears could play with anyone, obviously. It's a good Bears team, but they're only going to be better. I think it's fair to start looking to next year. I was
really impressed with how the Bears defense the last 6-7 quarters, include overtime. They played a level of defense I did not think they were capable.
It was great. It was today. They were really, really good.
It really makes you think if they'd have been relatively healthy.
Yeah, like that, dude. That's like I said.
Like how good this team would have really been. I have a feeling this year was going to play out at some form of this, regardless. And maybe it wouldn't have been as fun because maybe they wouldn't have needed some of the ridiculous comebacks. Yeah. They would have just won those games a little more comfortably.
Like if Jalen Johnson is healthy, if that secondary is healthy, there's not a chance that the Giants game goes to or the Bengals
the Raiders,
have the game.
The Bengals, the Raiders.
Yeah.
There's like 4 of those comebacks they would not have needed. Comebacks.
Right.
Yeah. They just win them. And then, if they would have beat the Niners if they'd have been relatively healthy.
I think so.
That was kind of the last game where Jalen was running like his legs were still glued together. And, and it turned into a ridiculous track meet both ways. But yeah. And I have a feeling, I just get the feeling, just correct me if you think I'm wrong, correct me here. I have a feeling that this coach isn't going to allow them to show up for training camp like they're starting from the divisional round of the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure.
They
For
will
sure.
know that everything starts over and
Yes.
everything they did doesn't matter anymore.
Yes.
And that hasn't always been true. I think the Matt Nagy Bears showed up for year 2.
Yeah.
Just thinking that it was still fourth quarter of the Eagles game, and
I think
all they had to do was get a kicker, and everything would have been fine.
I think it's the same with the quarterback. I think the quarterback also, shows like I think Caleb's already thinking like the whole organization. It's fun being a Bears fan right now. Well, maybe not this minute. Like they should have won that game. I mean, they could have won today. And Caleb had some bad throws. It was fine. Like, but I mean, it's hard to when he makes that throw like he did to Kabad, like holy shit. They're a really good team, and it's fun to think of like that they're still not at their potential. Like they could still be better. Like Ben Johnson could still be better. Caleb is still going to be better. Like this is great. This is fun.
Well, and now you go from last year, which was, can you take Caleb and get him to play some semblance of under center drop back quarterback to make this offense work? Now you get to go into this offseason trying to think of all the things you can do now with him. Like,
yes.
There's no more, you're not building a base anymore. You're
right,
working from,
right.
And you think about how well he played since when? I don't remember the last bad game he had. I mean, at least since the Steelers game.
Right.
He's been really, really good. And that's a long stretch now where it's like he clearly mastered the little stuff in the offense that he didn't really know how to do. It's funny that it gets back to like the Mahomes thing when he got to the Chiefs. And they knew this was the thing because he'd run the frickin' air raid. And the quarterbacks aren't asked to do a lot of stuff that you have to do in the NFL. Like, he didn't really know how to call a play in a huddle because they didn't huddle.
Yeah.
He didn't really know how to take a snap under center because they very rarely ever did it. There was a bunch of like little basic stuff that you're like, how the fuck does the number? But the Chiefs knew that. And that's why they went into that first season going, he's not going to play this year. We're just going to go with Alex Smith. And I wish I could remember who said it. It was one of the Chiefs players. It might have been Travis Kelce who said that was all true. And like, training camp was a little rough and preseason was rough and the early practices, he said, but by week 5, we were like, if he needed to play, he can play now. Like he'd figured it out. And I don't think enough of the base was set for Caleb his rookie year. And maybe it was good because Ben probably had his own way. He wanted to teach it all anyway. But by mid-season, didn't have to worry about that. They talked about how, like, in training camp, he would get screamed at because he couldn't get the whole play called in time in the huddle. Of course, this is why I love the Bears football media. The same guys who went on all these shows a year ago and were like, the Bears need to get a coach who will really challenge Caleb, and it's going to be kind of ugly, but it's going to be worth it whenever. And they see it happen, and then all they do is, oh, he's overmatched. He's not going to be able to do it. Oh, he's really struggling. You get freaking Courtney Cronin doing updates 3 times a day talking about what a terrible practice Caleb had.
Yes.
And it's like, we literally spent the whole offseason talking about how this was inevitable. And it wouldn't, you weren't going to freak out about it. And here you are freaking out about it.
You thought it was going to be a light switch. It was kind of funny, like thinking back to the Lions game, the first Lions game. It was like the whole idea was, well, as long as Caleb kind of keeps getting better and as long as he starts figuring it out, and I'm not going to pretend to know that whether he has or not, but he clearly, like, he did seem to get better as the year kept going. Like, it was just, he just kept getting better and the team kept winning. And it was great. Like, everything worked out. But the fact still remains that Caleb still was getting better. And he still is. He's not. Like,
I would be amazed if he's not like as good as he is right now.
Yeah.
This is not. He's still nowhere near a finished product.
No. Yeah. Holy shit. Like.
Yeah.
Like it's MVP level stuff. Like this guy, like, I mean, I'm not suggesting that, like, this is as good, like the potential is all there. Like this is, like he can hit his, whatever his 90th percentile was, however good you thought that he could be as a, number one pick.
Well, I mean, Drake May might win the MVP this year.
Right. Well,
and so you could easily see next year if Caleb being a legitimate MVP candidate.
100%.
Right? Like,
sure.
I'm not discrediting things Drake May did, although it was funny. Every week you looked at the Patriots schedule, you're like, why? When do they finally play somebody good? How are they never playing anybody good? But they took advantage of it.
Yeah.
They rolled those teams. They weren't just beating them. They were doing exactly what you're supposed to do. And it showed, well, they are pretty good because they're not squeaking by a lot of these teams.
Yeah,
they're
it's
handling
what the Bears did to the Browns.
And this is exactly the kind of, you should see the Bears start to do. That should be the Bears mode next year. Because the Patriots were farther along in their rebuild.
They both have first-year coaches. They both have second-year quarterbacks. They went out and they
also had, though, the Patriots did a smart thing. Vrabel's a really good coach, and they hired him. And he's coach. Ben. It's really impressive. I think the guy who'd never been a head coach before and didn't give up the play calling.
Right.
And we didn't run into any of these weird holy shit. Hey, how did he fuck that up? Kind of stuff. But Vrabel also they brought back Josh McDaniels. And he just turns the offense over to that guy. He's like, don't worry about it. You're a shithead coach because you can't communicate to anybody, but you can be the offensive coordinator. You're really good at being the offensive coordinator.
And that's what Ben did with the defense to Dennis Allen.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really smart move. One of the best things about getting Dennis Allen is you get a guy who's been a 2-time failed head coach.
Yep.
He's never going to be a head coach again. So you don't have to worry. You're not going to lose him.
Yep.
Like
you might lose one of the other guys.
It's not like the Luke Getsy thing. Remember when the Bears hired Luke Getsy? And like, well, he's on the fast track to be a head coach. He's probably gonna be there a year. Well, he was there. He was there for a year, all right, or 2, I guess he lasted. And then he got fired. But yeah, it's nice to have when they made that move, and I think it was really helpful to Ben. And Ben basically said him and DA would talk every day about stuff. He had a guy who'd been a head coach before.
Yeah.
To just basically, you know, he could bounce ideas off of and talk situations and be like,
I'm sure it's helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. He's probably like, what would you do here? Okay, so I'll do the opposite of that. Because it never worked, even though he had terrible teams in Oakland and New Orleans. Dennis Allen never was given a good team.
Over the cap.
It made me think of something I forget now. There was, I don't know. I guess they drug out Jim Cornelison to sing the anthem before the game.
That was kind of fun.
Everybody could point at the flag. I was surprised. They were showing the stands. I was more people. A lot of people weren't cheering.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Like, what the
Maybe
fuck?
they didn't know.
You don't know the shtick.
Yeah.
You got to scream.
I mean, even they kind of even teased it. Like Tirico even teased it.
He did, like the best anthem or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was funny. The Rams were getting into it.
Really?
Like you could see on the sidelines, the Rams they were kind of looking around like, "Oh, this is cool." Like they were, yeah,
neat.
I was worried it was going to fire up the Rams too much.
Yeah. Because they needed to be fired up to play this playoff game in Chicago.
Yeah, because they don't care. They're LA. They're too cool to care, man.
It was so much fun.
Oh, I know it.
It was I was gonna say it was so much fun, kind of having anxiety, in this game, like because it was it was a playoff game and the Bears are good and the Bears are playing with the Rams and it's just like it was just a really, really fun game to go through. Like if the Bears would have won, like holy shit, like all bets are off. Like that would have been incredible, obviously.
Well, especially, I mean, if they had finished that off with the ridiculous 4th down touchdown pass, and if they had completed a couple more passes and Cairo kicks field goal and they win the game, I mean, that's legendary crap. I mean, that pass is going to be repeated.
Yeah.
I mean, that's already and it'll be years from now, people will look back and forget that they lost. Hopefully the Bears will go on. They'll win things with Caleb. And then when people look back at the touchdown, all of a sudden that will become a game-winning touchdown.
Yeah.
Because it's just how everybody's memories work. Remember they wanted to beat the Rams in the playoffs? Blah, blah, blah. Well, no, actually they didn't win that game. They won the
It's
next
like-
6 Super Bowls after that, which is why you've lost track.
Right. Well, it's like when everybody, when it's the Mandela effect, when everybody thinks that Ian Happ was on the 2016.
Well, that's what Ian Happ likes to, and Brian Dempster both like to pretend they were. Happ got to go to the Thursday. So the Cubs on Thursday night did a dinner where they brought back, they brought back even more players than were coming to the convention. Like Aroldis came back and Schwarber came back, and they were not going to Cub convention. Although that would have been, if I were Schwarber, I would have been so tempted to show up at Cub convention with my Phillies jersey.
Ha!
And just like come out on stage with everybody and like go to one of the panels.
It'd be hilarious. Well, it'd be hilarious if Schwarber came out with his Nationals jersey.
To thank Jed.
Yeah.
For freeing him. This is when my career really started.
One time. Yeah.
Thank you. But Happ went. Happ was at the dinner. Because he's friends with those guys. But it's like, just can you stop? It's just people get confused enough. That loser has never accomplished anything. Don't let him get in glory by proxy. What is the stolen valor?
Stolen valor.
It's all stolen valor. One thing I remember, I thought this was interesting, and I kind of down. Callers started to explain it, but didn't explain it. So when DJ got hurt, and they had to go through concussion protocol, Kaylee Hartung basically said that part of the delay in getting DJ on the field was he had to warm his helmet up.
Yeah,
that's a real thing. They shrink, and if you ever you can't get it on. Oh, like that's actually a thing that happens. Like so they probably left his helmet. Like they didn't take. I'm sure they didn't take his helmet. They take your helmet, right, when you're in concussion protocol.
Right.
And I don't know. I'm sure he could have got it on, but there also was a timeout. But there's a reason he's holding it. At first, it's uncomfortable to try to put on when it's cold, but also it literally gets like, it's harder to pull apart to get over your head. And Cowser started to explain it, and then he like a bird flew by, and he lost. Whoa.
Is it because the air? Once you put it on, then the air comes in, and then that kind of protects your head.
No, I think it's the plastic. Literally just gets more rigid, and when you normally can pull it apart to like, you can, if a helmet fits, you can slide it down, but then the pads catch your ears and it hurts. And so guys get in the habit of like slightly pulling through the ear holes. They pull the helmet apart. I don't know what a guy like Caleb does because quarterbacks, their ear holes are closed. You ever see that? They have like plastic zips so that they can hear. Otherwise, the sound from the thing goes out the ear holes. I suppose you can just pull under and do it and put it on. But I remember, like we weren't playing, and we were playing, and I think we maybe played a game in November. We played in November, and it was cold. And I remember never not wanting to put your helmet back on, just like, oh, this is gonna suck, because it's cold and your ears are cold, and you're like pulling it on past your. That's why Neil Anderson, I think, never took his helmet off.
Yeah,
remember Neil would pull it, kind of put it up on his forehead.
Yeah.
And then his was too high anyway. It was always like he was looking under his face mask instead of over it.
There were others. I feel like wide receivers sometimes had that, or like kickers. Like, but that always seemed pretty cool. Like, you just sort of flip the helmet up and it rests on the.
Who was the punter who punted for a long time he finished his career with the Cardinals? Player, not Gary Player. That's the golfer. But he had he was the last guy to wear the one bar. And he wouldn't tighten it all the way, and he would be getting ready for the snap, and sometimes he'd take this face mask and like move it up and down. And Madden thought that was the funniest thing he'd ever seen. He looked like a bobblehead. I don't have one of them back. I have it over there. The old bobbleheads that just had like it was just the generic big head kid with the no face mask. That's what he always looked like.
Was he a punter or was he a kicker?
No, he's a punter. And he'd be getting ready, he'd be lining up, and he'd be like moving the face mask up.
Oh, now I forgot what was the first name of the character from Infinite Jest? Who was the punter for the Cardinals? Donahue's screaming at his phone.
There's Infinite Jest right over here.
Yeah,
I can't fucking read it. I've tried 3 times. I can't do it, and I don't know if it's the going back and forth. It's the reason. Infinite Jest is the reason that in the the Immortals and Great Until One is still on sale. That I use the side notes. You don't have to go back to the back of the book.
Yeah,
but that's not completely it. I'm sure David Foster Wallace was a genius. I had a friend who took literature with him at ISU, and he claimed, it was life. It just transformed his whole life and blah blah blah, whatever. And the parts I've read, I laugh out loud. Like, I know there's good stuff in there, but
It's
there's
so good.
something about the way he writes that I can't.
Really?
Yeah, I just have a really hard time. And it's not like I
Alright.
can't read a big book. Since Christmas, since Thanksgiving, I have read The Stand, which is 1,200 pages.
Yeah.
And I just read Lonesome Dove, which is 900 pages.
Yeah. Wow,
I have no
all right.
problem with long books. It's not the length of the book.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying. I get it. I
can't read it. I've tried it 3 times and I've given up.
Have you read any of his like other?
No.
Have you tried like any of his
I probably should. I probably like his short stories and stuff.
Well, yeah, he's got like
nonfiction
stuff is good nonfiction.
Oh, okay.
Like he did Consider the Lobsters, his collection of nonfiction work. He's really good. I really, really like him. I really like him. But I haven't read him in a decade and a half. I don't know how it would stand up now for me now that I'm older.
That's really bothering me. I can't think of the 1 bar face mask.
You can't what? Say that again?
1 bar face mask punter. I've got to find out who this guy is. Scott Player.
Oh,
I was right. And oh my, look at this thing. Open in new tab. No, not the link. I swear to God, every time I use the internet during a podcast, it's like I've never used it before.
huh?
I don't have I'm sure somewhere there's. God, he punted. He had a white beard the last year. Then he punted. Oh, I found it. I was just. There it is.
That's awesome.
But yeah, he could move it. I don't know what I guess it's not protecting him anyway, so who cares?
Yeah.
Theismann wore that. That was Joe's, wasn't it? Or did he wear the? Yeah, I think Joe had the 1 bar.
Yeah, didn't he? That was his thing. It's I found an awesome picture of him with this incredible mustache.
Scott Player.
Yeah. Scott Player. Man, I don't remember him. All right.
I always think of Joe wore 2 at. He alternated
2 like
at Notre Dame. I got pictures here of him at Notre Dame with a 2 bar.
Okay.
And some of the 1, and then with the Redskins back and forth between 1 and 2.
Wow.
Mostly 1 with the Redskins though. That doesn't protect you at all.
Like Sean, like dumb. A lot of the punters back then, like Sean Landetta, I feel like had the single bar.
Otto Graham. There's a nice picture of Otto Graham.
I'm sure. Like I was,
most of guys. He probably was like one of the few guys with a face mask at all.
Right. I was going to say like he probably played when there were. Man,
glad our wrap up of the Bears playoff loss is me pulling up pictures of guys with 1 bar face mask.
Bears, I mean, they could have won that game, man. I thought for sure they were going to win that game. Like they were just marching down the field in overtime. The defense was just so good. Like they really played well. Like I guess if you're an old pocket passer, the Bears can kick your ass.
I was surprised at the number of these drives that died with them, like 4 downs to get first down and running it 3 times. I was kind of surprised. I thought Ben would after the short yard. They were really struggling to get yardage on short yardage.
Who the Bears?
Yes, I really thought old Ben after a while would be like, all right, fuck it, we're chucking it. And I don't know if it's because. Maybe it could be, I don't know. I mean, it could be the defense the Rams were playing. They're like, we should be able to run against these guys, and then they couldn't or whatever. I don't know, but I'm not gonna I have a feeling he's got an actual idea when he does things.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna actually give him credit for he knows what he's doing.
They ran all right. They ran for 100.
Yeah, but I mean, there were a lot of 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 where they couldn't get it. They just. Like when they really need it.
Yeah, I don't know. No, I know what you're saying.
He didn't ask me. I kept looking at my phone, see if he'd call. What should we run here?
You think you would have, yeah.
All right, we're going to run the jockstrap. That would have worked. Jockstrap is play we ran a 2-point conversion all the time in high school, never failed. and it would have worked perfect because the Bears were running so much to the right and the Rams were starting to sell out for it. It was simply a play where everybody blocked as though the run was going to the right, and the quarterback would do an exaggerated pitch to the running back, and then the tight end on the weak side, the left side, would block, but then just trickle his way into the end zone, and nobody ever covered him, ever.
Yeah.
That thing worked every fucking time we ran it. It was amazing. And I think I'll just call Ben. Remember, I don't know if this is famous, maybe just remember this crap, but in Ditka's first year, they had a game where they had a bunch of short yardage situations where they didn't convert. And Hallis, Ditka claims the only time Hallis came down and like gave him plays was Hallis gave him like a package of short yardage plays and said, maybe you should try these. Maybe George needs to go down and talk to Ben tomorrow and give him, go to the archives, blow the dust off Grandpa's old short yardage plays. All right. Well, you're gonna have to line up in the T formation for this one, and we're gonna have to. George, get the fuck out of my office. Okay. Fuck the Packers. That's what George. I just feel like every time George sees anybody in the hallway now, he just goes fuck the Packers and laughs because he's swearing. Oh, this feels so good. I never knew how fun it was to swear. Fuck the Packers.
There was it was like in that movie. There was a movie that Mark Harmon was in. What was it called? Summer School.
Summer School. Oh, that's a great movie.
Yeah.
Courtney
we
Thorne-Smith.
Can swear? Damn it.
Courtney Thorne-Smith is amazing in that movie.
Yes.
She had that one, and she had a volleyball movie with one of the guys from 30-something.
Wow.
And about the same time, and it was like, ooh, hello.
Was it who's the guy who's wanted now? Timothy?
No, it wasn't Timothy Busfield.
Busfield, that's it. Yeah.
I was hoping
was he in 30-something?
I think he was, yeah. He was also in Little Big League, and I was really hoping that Cole Wright was going to ask Pete about it at the Cub convention. So, on a more somber note, Pete, your mom's co-star had to turn himself in for allegedly molesting a couple of small boys. Do you have any thought on Timothy Busfield?
Do you have any thought on that?
Except Cole would have had to give him like a nickname. Hey, the bus man. Do you know you've been talking to the bus man since he got busted? Huh? Have you? Pete's like,
bus man.
Can you, what? No. Can you go away, please? He's, who's Timothy Busfield? Timothy Busfield's married to Melissa Gilbert. Do you know that?
From
Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah. Really? Oh. I did not know that.
Found that out just because of this.
Is what's his name? Masterson still married to?
Oh, which one was that? Danny?
Yeah, right. The that 70s show guy, and wasn't he married to the redhead? What was her name?
He's married to Bijou. Oh, they're separated. He was married to Bijou Phillips.
Oh no, it's someone else. Okay. All right.
Yeah, this podcast is really taking a turn now. I thought the one bar face mask was bad.
I don't know what else is there to say about that game right now. That's kind of I was thinking about the Packers game. I've now watched that fourth quarter 5 times. I've now watched
Have you watched it with the Packers announcers? Because that is
no.
On YouTube you can watch it with Wayne and Larry McCarron, and and Wayne is confused. Like Wayne is old now, and he's still, I'm sure, far. You're watching it, so you don't have to picture it, but he's still mechanically much better than Jeff Joniak. He just automatically, even if he goes full dementia, he'll always be able to tell you what formation they're in and what yard lane they're on and how much time is left, which Jeff never will. But on the Caleb touchdown pass to DJ Moore, he starts to call it, and you just hear Larry McCarron, who's also 1,000 years old now. Larry McCarron just goes, the ball is in the air, hasn't been caught, and he just goes, oh no. It's not the Ron Santo, oh no, but it's somehow more satisfying because he's like, we're fucked. He just goes, oh no. And then Larry, that's a touchdown pass to DJ Moore. Again.
No, I keep watching I've now watched the Amazon the one that they do like the next gen
Oh, yeah.
one from the back. I've seen that
So
a couple
was that on
times.
Prime? Can you just go to Prime and watch
Yeah.
it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. Yeah. And I can find. I now know exactly when to forward it, just so it starts like that 6-minute mark. That drive where Caleb ends up throwing the interception. It was 21-6 at the time. Caleb throws the interception, then they get the ball back, then the Bears get the ball and kick the field goal to kind of, in the first little bit of the fourth quarter, and then you get into the fourth quarter madness. But the point, like, my point is, like, it was, we both kind of sat there and went, I have no idea what just happened.
Yeah, what happened? What happened
Yeah.
when?
And that's like, there were so many like ups and downs even within each drive. Like, just so many moments where you're like, oh, well, that's over. Like, the whole reason why it was even 4th and 8 in the first place is because they got totally lucky on a weird snap, and it happened to be a false start on Dahlman, right? And that was the only reason why it was 4th and 8. Otherwise, that would have been totally fucked. Like, it was just, there were just so many little things.
If they hadn't called, he moved the ball and then he kind of got out of, and then he snapped. If they don't call the penalty,
right,
the drive ends because he snaps the ball over Caleb's head.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the only reason.
But that's why it went from 4th and 3 to 4th and 8.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure changed the play call. And then we ended up with that.
Yeah. Holy shit.
And I don't know, maybe on a rewatch. All I know is watching that live, Caleb throws it, and I didn't, because when you watch that, you see it from behind, and I had no idea Rome was there. I didn't know what was going on. And all of a sudden, Rome appears and catches it.
Like, and then it was like, and then there were so many frustrating things, like the Romeo Dobbs catch that he makes with one hand. Like, that was like, you're like, that's it, it's over. Because that was like a 21-yard gain or something like that. It was just it was just this crazy up and down roller coaster. Whereas in this game, it was a little bit more,
Well, and the Packers mangled the clock management in that game, like going out of bounds.
Yes.
And
the athletic
calling that timeout with 43 seconds left, and then they didn't have it, and then the guy gets hurt on the next play, and they have to burn 10 seconds because they don't have that timeout. Yeah. But DJ had a catch today. He caught that ridiculous one-handed catch.
Yeah.
I think I don't remember it was Trico Collinsworth who said that's exactly what it was. Have you ever seen Highlight? That's when he said before he caught it, because it does look like he caught it with that ridiculous. What do they call it, a cesta or whatever that weird thing is, the basket.
Yeah,
thing
like
they hold,
that.
They catch they always like swing it around to catch the ball.
Oh man, it was just there were so many exciting, like, fun things that happened in this game, and still a lot of frustration, like a lot of like, oh, maybe this is over. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Like, I don't know. Like, I was just that overtime, they just kind of drove down, and I was just so sure that they were going to score.
Yep.
And then they just sort of stalled. Like, I don't know. Caleb has to fix a couple of little things, and he's an MVP, and this is a really, really good team.
Yeah, one of the things they need to work on is when he runs right.
Yeah.
And he did complete a pass to Manungai where he was rolling to the right, and he actually settled himself and threw it to Manungai.
Yeah.
Because when he just whips it, nobody, even Kobe, what's the guy's name? It's Kobe Durant, right? He's a mix between Kobe Bryant and Kobe Durant. And they have another Kobe who I think is hurt, Divas Lemon. There was one in I don't even remember when it was, third quarter, I think, where Caleb threw it so hard that even that guy couldn't catch it. Like, it would have been intercepted, but it's like when he rolls right, he can't seem to control. Everything's moving so fast. He throws the ball way too hard. Those just don't get completed.
Oh man, dude.
But yeah, and I forget which play it was. It was one of the big gains when Manungai had just a great blitz pickup. And last week, a play I didn't notice because they didn't make a big deal out of it because Kirk doesn't know what he's doing. On the second to last touchdown drive against the Packers, where they had that check down to Manungai, and he immediately went up the field and got it. Luther gets smoked, but just him sticking his face in there against the Packers.
Yeah.
He blocks. He ends up getting just crumpled.
Yeah.
but it springs Monangai because
Yeah.
just his willingness to throw his body in front of the dude.
Well, that was the play. I think another player talking about it, like where he kind of takes out two Packers because they sort
Yeah.
of fall over each other.
Yeah.
But he totally gets run over. But he just the two Packers just sort of end up. Yeah, I know the
Yeah.
players talking about.
And Caleb had a nice on one of their checkdowns of Monangai tonight.
Mm-hmm.
He weighted it just right where Monangai running forward to catch the ball is at full speed when he catches the ball. Like he didn't have to catch it and do whatever.
Yeah.
Caleb lays it out just in front of him, and Monangai
Yeah.
is off like a shot. I don't know. Like they had such a good year. I'm sure the temptation is to stick with DeAndre and Monangai. But I kind of wonder if you could have a better, like if you could upgrade the DeAndre Swift half of that.
Yeah, DeAndre's good. Like it shouldn't stop you. Who's available? Like it sort of depends on if you have to do anything at left tackle, right? You still have. I mean, like I think that it's so clear that they're one really good defensive lineman. When I don't know where on the defensive line that goes. Like I don't know if that's a stud defensive lineman and inside tackle, and then you let Javon go, or you let whatever. Right? I don't know who you upgrade over, or if it's the an end to against Montez Sweat, but you obviously need somebody else to take up a couple of blockers, somebody else who can be chipped by a tight end, because right now it just seems like the other team's offense is getting like they don't have to chip that extra guy.
Yeah,
they just have to go out on routes like pretty easily. And
I mean, Booker helped a lot when he came back.
Yeah, Booker's pretty good, but
he's not. I know why they signed Deo.
Yeah,
and it's because Booker is only 240 pounds.
Yeah.
Like, and Dio's supposed to be the bigger guy who play on more obvious rundowns and whatever, and then Booker could just be a pass rusher. And with him out, Booker just had to play more than normal, which probably cuts into his effectiveness on passing downs a little.
Right.
If he's been out more and he's been getting hit more often. But he had a nice hit early in the game where he basically picked Kyron Williams up and slammed. He's like grabbed him by the leg and he's pulling him down.
Well, what that defensive line is, my point is, it's kind of the same thing that the Cubs needed, right? They needed that one star, that like amazing. Like Montez Sweat is fine, but like that defensive line needs like Quentin Williams or like somebody, or Jeffrey Simmons, like this either amazing interior lineman or like Max Crosby out on the outside, like one more like all pro type player.
Edward Cabrera is pretty big, so maybe he could just play for both.
Yeah.
He's a big dude. He apparently was the talk of Cub convention when the Cub players were like, Jesus, you're even bigger than I thought. You used to just seeing him standing on the mound. He always looks big. And they're like, Jesus, you're bigger than I thought.
Was he like 6'7"?
I'll also give Edward credit. Edward did some of the panels.
Okay.
With his translator.
Oh.
Which you just didn't see at Cub convention. Like the Latin guys who didn't speak English just didn't do them. And it's refreshing actually to see a brand new Cub just want to do it. And like, fine, just explain to me he also seems like one of those guys, and I don't blame anybody for using a translator. If I went to play in the Dominican, I would want a translator. There's nothing about it. But he really does. It seems like, and Seiya is like this. Seiya clearly understands the question.
Yeah.
Like sometimes he'll laugh at the question, but he still waits and he gets it translated. Every once in a while, Seiya will answer in English, especially if it's a short answer.
Yeah.
But Edward people were asking questions, and he clearly knew what the question was.
Okay.
Like before it got translated. But I don't blame him. You don't want to say something stupid, or you don't want to, whatever. But I say that was nice because, the Cubs and their history of acquiring anyone who didn't play at Vanderbilt is not real long. And so it was nice to see that a new guy shows up and he's like, no, I'll do it. That's fine.
That's cool.
I'll talk to these lunatics. Why are there so many weird looking people here? They're all fans?
What is with all the sweatpants?
Hobie Milner was like, he was getting interviewed by Elise, and he's like, I was told what this was like. This is not what I thought it was going to be like.
Really?
And he seems, he's like, it's impressive, but also I think he's like, this is weird. What is with these people? Don't you people have homes?
Don't you people have homes?
Judge Smales.
Man.
Well, the thing that sucks about it now is we don't get another Bear game a real one till September.
Yeah, but we got to think all the different ways in which this team is going to dominate the NFC next year. And
I can tell you, we've had so many years where you just wanted it to end. Like, just get it over with. It was very nice to have one where not only did you not want it to end, it seemed like if they had won, they would have legitimately they would have gone to Seattle and
they would have had a shot.
They would have been up for whatever got thrown at them.
Yeah.
It's just the way they are.
I don't
know they'd have won, but they would not have, I had no fear of them getting boat raced in this game by the Rams.
No, there's no.
This is not how they're built. They're going to be fine. If they have to score a shitload of points, they'll score a shitload of points.
Yep.
And they didn't. But
it was all good. It wasn't all good. Wish they would have won. But this is a good team. This is a team that needs, it's. I have a lot of faith after last year and seeing how Poles built up the offensive line. You have to have faith that he'll fix whatever needs fixing, and that they're going to be really, really good heading into next year. And now we get to consider that. Even if it's the obvious move, even when he made the obvious moves, and they all worked.
I will say
Pro Bowl.
I will say that because of who they beat last week and the way they did it, that no matter what happened tonight, they literally were playing with house money, right?
Yeah.
For the fans, because that was, there would be it would not have been, the offseason should not have been markedly different if they had lost last week to the Packers. The things they needed to improve on, they still need to improve on.
For sure.
But from a purely fan standpoint, it's so much more fun to go into the offseason this way because we have that.
Think of all of the young players.
If they had fallen short last week against the Packers.
They now have a ton of young players. They have a ton, they're, between Burden and Adunes and Loveland, and they have just a ton of young players. Darnell Wright on offensive, Caleb, who have now played in 2 playoff games.
Yeah, the extra playoff game is a big deal.
That's a really
the more playoff experience you can get, the better.
That's what it was like with the 2015 Cubs. That it was like with the 09 Blackhawks. This is, you're just gaining all of this awesome experience.
I will say the difference, and I keep drawing the parallel, and if it's an easy, obvious parallel to draw between is by the end of that Mets series, you were like, okay, there's still work to be done. They're not as good. The Mets beat them so thoroughly. You don't have that same feeling from this Rams game, right? The Cubs weren't clearly by game 4 of the NLCS that year. We're not going to beat the Mets. And
right. Yeah.
This game they lose in overtime, and you're like, fuck. The 2 things go different. One thing goes different. They win, and we're still playing. So they're, but I think that's probably important because football, it feels like every step is accelerated over baseball. Baseball, you get better this year to this year, and you can do this. In football, the window slams shut a lot faster just because careers are shorter, guys get hurt, guys are on shorter contracts.
Yeah.
So getting this far close and feeling closer is important, I think.
Well, they have to.
The Cubs, you could look at the 2015 Cubs and feel like they can make a big jump next year and they can do something. With the Bears, if they had played the Rams and gotten smoked today,
right,
you'd feel like they were farther back than they were, and you'd be like, well, how close are they? The Packers suck, and we
but to your point.
But now the Rams are good. The Rams are going to go to Seattle, and they're either going to go to the Super Bowl or they're going to go down in the last minute. You're that close. We didn't know that 2 weeks ago.
But to your point, the way that you go into the off season, no matter what happened in these playoffs, doesn't matter. Doesn't change what you have to do in the off season.
Mm-hmm.
There's an obvious thing they have to do.
It just changes the
defensive line, and
it changes the feeling. It doesn't change the tasks.
Sure. Here's the cool thing, the way that I think about it in the macro. Caleb's got 3 years of a rookie scale contract. Caleb, Odunze, right? Burton's got 4 years. Loveland's got 4 years. You've got an opportunity here and now. Darnell Wright's got 2 more years, 3 more years. I don't know, whatever it is, 2 more years. You have an opportunity here and now to really kind of be able to extend the salary cap Push it out because you got to pay Caleb in 3 years. But this is your opportunity to go out and win a Super Bowl. Like in these
Everything-
next 3 years.
Poles has set all the contracts up
Yeah.
to have the books cleared to
Yes.
pay the ridiculous contract
Yes.
to Caleb for year 6.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. For sure. 100%.
Which is it's the only way you can do it.
But you
If
still
it
gotta
turns out
field
you're
a
right, you
competitive
have
team.
to do it. So you're
Yeah.
right. And I'm going to say something very un-Bears like, you have to win the first Super Bowl of the Caleb Williams era in the next 3 years.
Yes. 100%. 100%. Yes. Exactly.
You have to win.
Exactly.
You've
Yes.
missed a huge opportunity if you haven't won a Super
Yes.
Bowl
100%.
in the next
yes.
3
That's
seasons.
exactly my
after
point.
this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then, though, you are also set up where the transition to the way the team looks
Yeah.
after that year,
Yeah.
you didn't overburden yourself.
Yes.
You're not screwed. You're not going to be throwing bodies off the ship that you need because you over leverage by signing some of these guys to too long contracts.
Yeah. The risk is
The
that
other oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say the risk to that, and what we're gonna see is it's not really that much of a risk because everything seems to be working out. Is you have to bring back pretty much this exact team next year. There are very few players who you can release. Kind of just based on the contracts. I was looking at this on Over the Cap. There are very few players you can actually release and save money on. Right, Komet, Tremaine Edmonds. There's a couple of guys at Swift. There's one of them, but you have
DJ
to
Moore, right?
DJ. No, I think
Or does
DJ
his
Moore,
contract
they can
structured
trade
so
him.
it doesn't help? He's
Right,
a year?
to trade him. But if you can't really release him, you can always restructure his contract. But that's okay. Like these are guys that they're also not killing you cap wise.
Yeah.
And you can
No,
restructure
I would think that of the guys that they're likely to have to make decisions on,
Yeah.
Komet is probably not a guy you redo. You either keep or you get rid of.
Yeah, I think
I would think DJ and Edmonds are guys your first step is to try to spread their money out. So you free up cash. Short of getting rid of them, because DJ is we'll find out, I'm sure. There'll be a million think pieces written about why he was jogging down the middle of the field on the last interception.
I
think that guy has proven over
Yeah.
the course of
I don't know
this
shit.
entire season that he's one of their most important players. Like, he played that whole year. He would get
DJ, yes.
he got knocked out
Yes.
of every game, and he somehow would crawl his ass back on the field, and they needed him.
Yeah.
So this idea that, I don't think next year you're in a spot where you can just like be, okay, we're good with Liz Luther and Rome.
Yeah.
I just don't think you want to do that. I think you want DJ Luther and Rome for at least another year.
I think that based there's the value of having DJ Moore around, even if he's your third best receiver, is still worth it. And they just can't cut him. They can't.
He's still the guy that, he caught the touchdown pass in this game.
I would have.
You need him. You're
because
not ready yet. You're not ready to move on from him.
Well,
yet,
and also because of how cheap Burden and Odunze still are.
Right.
Like if
your
you look
whole
at the
wide receiver
totality-
core, which is really good, is not expensive.
Yeah. So the guys, like I said, the guys who you can kind of see if they can get rid of, Edmonds, if they cut Edmonds, they save $15 million against the cap.
That's real. That's real savings. So I would guess that means you have to have a talk with Tremaine.
Yeah.
About, are you willing to restructure?
Right.
If not, you probably got to go somewhere else.
Yeah, you got it right. Exactly.
And I think Dennis Allen would be very pissed if you told him that you're going to get rid of him. But I also think he would just figure it out.
Well, it's
Tremaine is a very unique. They were much better when they didn't have him. When he was gone,
the
defense did struggle because that's
here's the thing
for a 6'6" dude. That's a weird skill. It's a very unique skill set, and they moved him. Eberflus played him in the wrong fucking spot.
He's really good in coverage. He's really good. Like he's good with the running back out of the backfield. I agree with you. But here's what it comes down to.
But is he $15 million good at that?
Well, it comes down to this. If it's Edmonds versus Max Crosby, right? If you can take the money and give it to kind of that all pro, that matters.
If you can get an elite player, then you can go cheaper at your strong side linebacker, or he's probably the will.
Whatever it is. Yeah.
And then I don't know what happens with TJ. Broke his leg.
Yeah, and Jackson
speed is not exactly all of his forte anyway. And
right.
If it doesn't heal right and he's slower, he's probably gone, even with his contract extension.
Well, the problem, yeah, that's kind of the problem with Edwards is that you can't really cut him either. I don't know what happens when somebody's hurt, if you get that salary money back, like if he's out all year next year, or
I don't know
that
what happens
works.
when you put a guy in
But because
IR.
of the contract that he signed, you can't really cut him. He's gonna end up being in the red for you next year.
How much you're looking at?
Yeah.
He's not that expensive though, right?
Yeah, he's only
Even
about
with
10
his
million.
extension. Yeah.
Yeah, he's only
not-
about $10 million against the cap next year. So, but if you cut him, you're basically eating an extra couple $1 million
yeah.
for
But
no
I think
reason.
the only reason you're cutting him is if he's physically unable, and then you probably do get some of that money back.
Yeah, exactly. Then I don't know how that would work.
You get an
Or,
injury
like, an
settlement,
injury
but I don't know how that
settlement.
affects the cap.
Right.
I don't know how any of that shit works.
The other guy is Komet. If you cut Komet, I think if I'm reading this right, you save $8.4 million against the cap if you cut Komet, and then DeAndre.
I
Swift
remember
is $7
people talking
million.
about when he signed that contract.
Yeah.
People looked at him like, you may have signed a contract that makes you go bye-bye.
Yeah, but he got some
Because-
guarantees up front. Like he was all right. Like it's not. I think
Right, but the way it was structured was basically like after the first couple of years, the team can walk away from you.
Yeah, and that's okay. Again, I think he knew that. And again, it's like he'll get a chance. Like he's not. He would never be at the top end of the tight end market.
No, he's
until,
not.
you know,
He's,
get
and
him back
he's
to
very
like-
clearly your second tight end now.
Yeah.
And maybe you can keep him because your number one tight end makes not that much.
Well, that's
I mean,
exactly
first round
what
draft
he
pick.
did with DJ Moore, right?
He is a
And-
first round draft pick, so he makes better money than like if he was a third round pick.
But that's okay.
Colson's not breaking the bank.
Yeah. And Komet, and the thing with Komet is that he's a perfectly fine, like in Johnson likes those 2 tight end, 3 tight end packages.
He's very good at this role. I
Yeah.
think unless you get to a point where for some reason you have to save that money, you're not even gonna worry about it. You're just gonna keep
Right.
it.
Well, the stuff that makes him good in that second, the stuff that makes him valuable, even with his contract, you could still save some money. I feel like maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm talking out of my ass.
Well, there's a good example of his value is on the touchdown pass last week to DJ, the one to put him ahead.
Yeah.
To make it look more like a screen than it already was, they took Darnell and lined him up outside the left tackle. And so Komet was basically playing right tackle.
Yeah.
And he had to block the Packers' left defensive end. And it wasn't a screen pass. He had to actually block him because Caleb needed time to throw it, and he handled it fine. Like there's a lot of guys. I mean, if you turn that over to Durham Smythe, I have a feeling that dude is sitting in Caleb's lap, and that pass doesn't happen.
Well, I don't know.
I'm not saying Durham Smythe is bad. I'm saying
Cole
is better. Cole is a level
Yeah.
that you probably can't just easily replace.
Well, what Cole adds, I think, is that ability to actually go out and catch a pass. I don't think Durham Smythe is really good at that, but I think Durham Smythe is pretty good.
He caught one today.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. So, I mean, it's the right now is a really good time to be a Bears fan. I don't like, there's nothing, it's hilarious listening to all of these teams go through, do they draft Mendoza? Is there another quarterback?
Well, if you need a quarterback this year, you're fucked.
Well, and then,
fucked.
who's available in free agency?
And then even it's Dante Moore, right? The guy from Oregon, who the Jets were going to take, and he's like, I think I'll just stay in Eugene.
Well, and then like all the coaches and like this Cole, like who are they going to hire as a head coach? And are there really anybody good? And it's like a bunch of weirdos, and like to not even remotely have to worry about any of that is so fantastic.
I mean, it's ridiculous but we're fans, so of course we can think this. I mean, do we have any reason to believe that they don't have head coach solved and quarterback for a decade?
100%. 100%. Yeah. Yeah.
Because, I mean, we knew, think of the way Nagy 1 ended in year 1. And you're kind of like, I mean, that offense had fallen off a cliff late in the season, and he couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
And it was kind of the first, and then Fangio left, and you're like, uh-oh.
And that was it. Yep.
And, and Lovey was basically there for a decade. Like that's, and Ditka was there, I think, exactly 10 years.
Yep.
So it's not crazy to think you found a good coach, you're going to have him for 10 years.
Yeah. And like it's just fun to think, to even be able to think with any kind of optimism to next year after like this loss today was kind of a nut punch. Like it was like they came back. Like, it was a really good game, and they should have won, and you kind of felt like they could have won, and
I mean,
and then they didn't win. And so, and still to have the optimism to next year, after this game, and after the way that things went in this game, and like knowing, like, just the build up to it and all, and everything, like, this is to be able to like talk in terms of, yeah, this is a team that can go out and like, they are Super Bowl contenders, and they're I honestly believe that, like, thinking about them being one player away, whoever that is, right? And granted, like, they might have some little holes to fill. Like, if Trapio isn't around, like, holy shit.
yeah, now you gotta fill left tackle.
Or you figure it out. Like, I don't know, like, maybe they
And
figured, but it's
honestly,
just one more thing
I
that you
mean-
thought you didn't have to worry about.
And honestly, you might, I don't know how sold they are on him anyway. You may have needed to find one anyway. They may look at Ozzie as a
Yeah,
swing tackle who they had to play at left tackle this
maybe.
year. I don't know.
Right. But at least you kind of thought, like, finding a left tackle is really, really hard. And going into this draft, I don't know what's available. I have no idea. It doesn't matter. Like, not having to worry about it. I would rather them almost patch together left tackle, because the rest of the line is so good. And use that first round pick on Max Crosby or whatever.
It's basically what they did this year.
Yeah.
They played Benedette and Trapillo, and did Braxton play at all? Beginning of the
A
year,
little
right?
bit, no, I think early on. Whatever.
And because from left guard over,
Yeah.
they're so good, it's not a big
Yep.
deal. Left tackle was never a problem.
Right.
Like, it wasn't. We know what a offensive line crisis looks like. We
Right.
did not have one. This offensive line it's a big reason why Caleb was able to improve as much as he could.
Yeah,
I mean, he
and-
wasn't
and-
under siege the way he.
Right. And not only that, but anything coming from the left tackle, he would just sort of break that contain, run around
Yeah.
them, and make.
It's
these
almost like he
crazy
kind of liked it.
passes. Yeah.
Like, oh, good. Now I get to do this.
Right. You didn't have to worry about anybody coming from the right
probably
tackle
like-
side.
He's calling the play. Let him go.
Yeah.
Like, watch
Don't
this.
worry about it.
I need
Lost
to stretch.
pressure
I
level.
need to stretch my legs. Let him
Yeah.
come at me. I want to run him.
So this is going to be fun. Like, thinking about this team, and this is just a completely different way of thinking about this football team, and
You
thinking
don't-
about next year, and that's wonderful.
Excuse me. The thing you don't have to do for the first time in God knows how long, you don't have to delude yourself into acting like they're better than you really know they are,
Yeah.
so that they're closer. Like, this
Yeah.
is they're really good at a lot of positions.
Yep.
They've got other places they need to improve, and pretty much every team has to do that. But they're so much farther ahead
Yep.
than where we could have thought they would be back on when they blew the game against the Vikings in week 1.
And even the Detroit game, holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, after 2 weeks, the stuff should have been pretty bleak. It didn't
Yeah.
feel that way, I think, just because we were ready for it to be a process.
Yes.
But then they kind of were like, fuck it, this doesn't need to be this big a process.
Yeah.
Let's just start winning.
Well, and like I said, it was just, the whole thing was thinking about, if only Caleb gets better every week, it doesn't matter what the results are, like, you'd like to win a game or two, like, but it doesn't really matter. Like, as long as Caleb gets better, as long as you could kind of see progress in the offense, and like, it obviously exceeded all of those. Like,
I mean,
it's a wonderful place to be.
If you think about the way their whole offseason goes, and not just player acquisition, but just player
Yeah.
development, for the first time since, I don't know, Jim McMahon and Mike Ditka, probably literally, they don't have to waste a bunch of resources and time and all kinds of shit on the stuff. Like, the reason that it's so hard for the Bears to build on any success year after year
Yeah.
after year was they were winning in spite of really important things. Like,
Yeah.
maybe they had a good head coach, but they didn't have a quarterback.
Yep.
So they were still looking for the quarterback. Or they never just had the quarterback without the coach. They never had the quarterback. And it screws everything up. Like, you have to spend extra money on a position that you shouldn't have to. And you don't have resources for other things,
Well,
where your laundry list this year is shorter than it typically has been. It's still important. You have to get those things right, but you're not trying to thread a needle where it's like, okay, we got to replace all these positions and we still have to figure this out. You don't have to
Yeah.
do that anymore. You can focus on a few things and get them right instead of everything.
yeah, here's the really cool thing, is that somehow what they have always done is they have always gone after the quarterback out of desperation, trading a first-round pick for Rick Meyer, trading 2 first-round picks for Jay Cutler, trading up to get Justin Fields, trading up to get Trubisky. Like, these are things that cost them all of these assets. Somehow, they wound up with Caleb Williams and more. Like, they didn't
Yeah. Like,
they
he
didn't give anything up to get Caleb Williams. They got all of this extra stuff and Caleb Williams.
They didn't even take Caleb Williams with their own pick.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, they didn't actually have to, they didn't have to trade up for it. They didn't have
Foles
to
did the
trade it.
opposite.
Yeah, exactly.
He was willing to, like, because it would have been, first year would have been Bryce Young or CJ Stroud.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Yeah.
And every other Bear GM would have sold himself on one of those.
Yes, yes, yes.
And coming from, I'm sure, from Kansas City, he's like, that's not what this looks like.
Yep.
That's not, we might as well stick with Justin.
And
which
they're
was
both fine
never,
quarterbacks. Like,
as much as they can say, that was never their long-term.
No, right.
Like, they got to act like it for a year.
Yeah.
That
Well,
was
they
never.
they did luck in. Like, it was a lot of things went right in order for them to get Caleb. Like, a lot of things went right.
Well, it took Davis Mills having that ridiculous comeback against the Colts.
Yes.
To get them the #1 pick.
Yes. Yeah.
Otherwise,
allow them to trade it.
If you think what happens, and last year there were people like, oh, it would have been that bad. You know, they would have taken Jaden Daniels instead. And because Caleb would have been gone, they would have picked 2. They wouldn't have picked 1. They would have taken either Jaden or Drake. Maybe they probably would have taken Drake, I think.
Yeah.
But say they take Jaden Daniels. Ben already turned down a chance to coach Jaden the year before. He didn't want to.
Yeah.
He wanted to coach Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
The whole reason he's here is because when the Bears got the #1 pick that year, he was like, he knew he coached against Matt Eberflus that year.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't have to take the commander job right now. That Bear job's going to be open next year.
Yeah.
100%. And that's the one I want.
Yeah. He would have taken it that first year if the Bears would have done the smart thing. I mean, whatever. All's well that ends well. Well, and
yes. If they were smart, we would be even farther ahead right now.
Right.
Because this would be but we don't have to worry about it. It's kind of like the Cubs and Alex Bregman.
Yep.
They should have signed him last year. They didn't.
Yep.
Well, we'll worry about that for about 10 minutes, and now you worry about he's
the
here
best
now.
the best time to get Ben Johnson would have been before Caleb. The second best time is when they got him.
Right.
So all good. Right. Like, fine.
Much better than not getting him at all.
Yes.
And it didn't hurt that the Bears in their weird coaching search, he gets on the Zoom and says, first thing he says, I want this job.
Yeah.
Which to George McCaskey was, he wants us. He really wants us.
Yeah.
He was sold. George probably left.
Yeah.
All right, take that guy. I'm going to go get the oil change in the Camry. I got stuff to do.
So yeah, like it's this wonderful thing. And now, like I said, I don't even care if they make a first round pick. Like if they can, like, let's go. Like this is your time now to see, like, and heck, they still have all of these young guys who may still turn out into something. Like this linebacker Hippolyte, right? Like he may turn into something. Luke Newman might turn into a guard. Like they've got these guys who may or may not develop, and it'd be great if they did. And I don't know, like everything's just bright. Like it's a wonderful place to be.
So the Bears
It's
have
a really wonderful place to be.
Their own picks in the first, second, third round. They have the Rams pick in the 4th round, which with this loss, now that hurts them because the Rams are going to pick low.
Yeah,
way to go! You fucked up. The reason the most painful part of this loss now is their 4th round draft pick will be later than it was. Shit, they have a 5th round pick and they have a 7th. They do not have a 6th.
Now how are they going to get Max Crosby? Yeah. Well, because they traded that for, I think that was the Jonah Jackson deal. Thuney was the 4th rounder last year.
Actually, it says Thuney is the 4th round. They have the Rams pick in the 4th. They don't have their own because that was Thuney.
Okay, gotcha.
And in the 6th round, because they got
Jonah Jackson.
Rams, they got the Rams pick when they
took on Thuney's, or when they took
the
on
Bears
Jonah
drafted
Jackson's
Ty Johnson for them in the 4th round, in the 148th pick. In the 5th round last year, the Bears drafted Ty Johnson for the Rams, and then got this year's 4th for that.
Okay. That's kind of how they ended up with Austin.
And they picked Luke Newman.
Yeah.
The guard from Michigan State, who when I first read that Tooney was playing left tackle, I thought Luke Newman was playing left guard. I didn't know who Booker McFadden
this other
was.
guy, whoever this other guy is. All of a sudden
And they don't have a 6th round pick because they traded it to the Browns for Joe Tryon Shorinka.
Yeah.
But they got but they have 2 7th round picks now because they got one from from the Browns. That's not right. Anyway,
they're going to draft a bunch of running backs in the 7th
The most
round.
important thing, if they're looking to trade for somebody, is they have their 1st and 2nd rounders. Because if you don't have them, you're really running low on ammo to try to trade for him.
Yeah, you could trade 2 firsts, like first this year, first next year, whatever. Like it depends on who you're getting.
That gets a little hairy because the worst thing you can do when you open your window of winning is to willy-nilly. Although I could talk out both sides of your mouth. So if they feel like they can do what the Rams did through their first heyday, that was the old Les Snead, fuck them picks.
Yeah.
And everybody talked about it. The Rams would always trade their 1st and 2nd round picks for actual established NFL players.
Yeah. Yes.
But what they also did that people weren't paying attention to was they were getting Cooper Kupp in the 4th round and Puka Nacua in the 4th. They nailed their middle round picks every year.
100%.
And so their draft was yielding impact players. They just weren't taking them in the 1st and 2nd rounds. So they weren't really fuck them 100%. Picks. They were like, fuck them 1st round picks.
All right.
Because they were using them to fill needs with guys they knew could play instead of, wishing on.
And they probably never thought that Puka would be this good or Kupp would have been as good as he was right now.
No, but they clearly felt like
this guy's
good.
So that's the thing. But like if you think you're Jalen Ramsey away, then you go get Jalen. Or if you think you're Von Miller away,
then
you go get Von Miller. Yeah,
trade Jared Goff and however many ones to get Stafford, and go win the Super Bowl.
If you think you're one player away, which I think the Bears might be, then you go do it. Like if you think your Max Crosby away, then you go get Max Crosby, and if it costs you a 1st and a 2nd round pick, or then that's what it costs you. But you better think that you're one player away, and this is, I think, where they are.
Well,
that's the problem with when they got Khalil Mack.
Yes, that was
really
the
more than a Khalil Mack.
The mistake they made with the Khalil Mack trade was they didn't have the quarterback. Mitch was not the quarterback. And they made the move like, we've got the quarterback, now we've got the other piece. Yeah. And Khalil was really good for the Bears, but it didn't matter because the quarterback, their offense sucked because the quarterback was bad.
Right.
So all you did was you wasted a bunch of draft capital on a really fancy car that you couldn't get out of the driveway.
Yes.
And you frustrated poor
Whereas
Khalil
now,
Mack.
if they went and they... Right. Whereas if now they went and got Khalil Mack...
This is the offseason to go for the
now's the time to do it.
Yeah.
And it was my point exactly. Yep.
And like this last offseason, there were when the Browns were going to trade Myles Garrett. And there was all this talk about that.
Yeah.
And there were Bear fans who were like, we got to get that guy. We got to get that guy before the draft last year. And it's like, you're not ready.
Right. Well,
you can't. And think about how much worse this team would be, even with Myles, if they trade away all their draft capital and didn't have Colston Loveland. Their draft, all those guys played huge roles.
Luther Burden,
you wouldn't have Colston or Luther. You just wouldn't have. Those picks would be gone. Next year's one would be gone.
Yep.
And you'd have Myles chasing guys around, and that would be fun. But your offense would be not nearly as good.
Yep.
And you wouldn't have been playing tonight, I doubt.
Yeah, getting Loveland is huge. That's a big deal. Getting Luther, that's a big deal. Like
his injury, by the way, was a concussion.
Whose? Oh, Colston's.
So it's not like when it looked like they were just going to lose.
Yeah.
Before the miraculous 14-yard bomb.
Yeah.
The one thing that went through my mind is, all right, we got to at least get through these last few snaps with Caleb in one piece.
Yeah.
So we can have a normal off season and we're not like patching our quarterback back together.
Yeah.
Because that is big. Like quarterbacks get hurt all the time. And the last thing you wanted was in the last game, he's got to get a shoulder fixed or a knee fixed or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Look what happened to Bo Nix.
So I watched this guy on YouTube, Dr. Brian Sutterer. He's like a guy he's a sports medicine guy who diagnoses injuries off a videotape, and he's really good at it.
All right.
He can't figure out where Bo Nix broke his foot. He The second to last play. And he watches he showed us that play, and it's like there is no obvious so. And he thinks what happened was he thinks Bo had a stress fracture in his foot before, and it gave away because he didn't. There's nothing that happens in the second to last play that makes you think, that's when he got hurt.
Yeah, like he did interviews afterwards. Like it was just as if nothing happened. All of a sudden, it was like, oh yeah, he's done for the year. It's like what?
He had to take the knee to end the game.
Mm-hmm.
Or on the last I forget. He had to take a knee on his last play. And he did turn weird. Like his foot hurt. And then he kind of limped off the field. But he walked off. They didn't carry him off. He didn't do whatever. And that's what made it. So Sutter thinks that he had to have had a pre-existing injury that he just made worse. Because he's like, there's nothing on this play where it's like, oh my God, he broke his foot. It was not like the TJ Edward thing last week where his foot was pointing in the wrong direction. The Prime just casually said, oh, here's where it happened. It's like, oh, Jesus. Why? Don't show. We don't want to see that. All right. Well. God, the next recrap we do will be Cub spring training games. Going to do all recaps.
Recap all of those.
Marquis only going to show like 9 of them this year. They're cutting back.
How much do they usually show?
All.
It was fun going last year.
They show all the home games. The first few years, they showed every game. They'd make poor Len and JD go to fucking every game and do the games.
I'm sure they don't mind.
Last year, they did every home game and then some of the road games. If the other team was doing the game, sometimes they would show that feed.
Okay. So
like if the Royals were doing it and the Cubs were playing.
They just don't do that more often.
I think because of the RSN cutbacks everywhere, I think nobody's going to do this many games. So the Cubs don't have that option of just picking up the other team's feeds very often. They are going to build an Arc de Triomphe over Gallagher Way to honor the 2016 Cubs.
I think they're not going to.
They're going to have an arch that's going to have like everybody's names on it.
Like a big
I don't know if it's like the one Trump wants to build in DC.
Well, at least
probably the same plans.
A bridge from like the upper deck to like the hotel or something.
Yeah.
Like that would be pretty cool. Like
the 2016 Skywalk. That's what they'll call it. Yeah. The Skywalk of Fame, and they can move all the plaques up there. And I could stop calling it the Utility Tunnel of Fame.
They could do something cool like that. That'd be fun.
Maybe I gotta say, I did not see any of the three. I didn't see any of the 3 Hall of Famers coming. Although I will admit, I thought Jody Davis was already in the Utility Tunnel of Fame.
Yeah, I gotta read that thing. I kind of lost track. So there are 3 of them. I thought it was just
Vince Lloyd because he's dead.
Oh,
that's why I played Vince's commercial.
Oh,
Vince should have been in. It's amazing that he wasn't in. I pushed out, and Mike Farron immediately replied, and he's like, I don't get why it took 30 years to put that guy in. He was there for 37 years.
Yeah.
He's a great announcer. He should have been in a long time ago. And then Jody Davis and John Lester.
Yeah.
The Lester one made sense because they're going to do another reunion in July.
Oh, okay. All right.
Now, Crane explained that the reason they did this one at Cub Convention wasn't to sell tickets to Cub Convention. Sure. It was that way guys who are currently playing on other teams could come to the dinner.
Like Chapman did.
Because if you do it in July,
unless
you time it when
Red Sox or who does Chapman?
Yeah, like
for the Red Sox.
Well, they wouldn't do it for Roldis, but say they would time it so like the Phillies were in town, so Schwarber.
Oh yeah, okay.
They don't give 2 shits about Chapman. That's odd to have Chapman and Addison Russell there, but
was Addison Russell there?
He was there. He was at the convention, and I think that's the reason. So they did it much different than normal when they claim it's because they had so many more players back, which they did because they had the whole 2016 team. They had a lot more former players than normal.
Yeah. But
in years past, they introduced everybody separately. And so this year they started with the announcers And they all
Uh-huh.
walked out, and then
Yeah.
Cole Wright just quickly read all the names, and they waved. And then they did like the prospects, and like
Okay.
5 of them wandered across the stage. Jackson Wiggins has a terrible mustache.
Huh.
I thought he was Jack Neely, the weird pitcher. I'm like, why is that guy there? I'm like, oh, fuck, that's Jackson Wiggins. He's got a weird mustache, too. Then they did former players who weren't the 2016 Cubs. And they did it the same way. They just like read their names. And I'm like, well, that's fine for like Ray Burris. Like, who gives a shit? Ray Burris is back. But Carlos Zambrano's there.
Yeah.
And he's just like, you're just like whisking him up on stage and waving. And then I'm like, well, clearly they're going to introduce individually the 2016 Cubs, the current Cubs, and then the utility tunnel and Hall of Famers. That's what they're going to do. They go, here are the 2016 Cubs. And he's just rattling off the list. And they're just walking on stage and waving. And I wondered if it was because Addison was there and they didn't want Tim getting booed.
Yeah, I mean,
because I think he would have.
I can't believe it. Yeah, I can't believe it was there.
Even at Cub convention, I think he would have got booed.
Yeah, I can't believe, like I said, I can't believe it was there.
So then they did introduce the current team, the utility tunnel of Famers, and the Hall of Famers got individually introduced. But it was weird.
They just did that on Saturday night for the Blackhawks, like for the Stanley Cup teams. So they had a bunch of them back. Obviously not Patrick Kane or Jonathan Taves, but they had a bunch of them back, and they went through them one by one. Like,
so they interviewed John Lester right after the thing, and he was really good. He was talking to, I think, Boog, maybe it was Elise, and he was humbled by the honor and whatever.
Yeah,
I thought that was really nice. And then they started the stupid Ryan Dempster talk show.
Jeez.
And he started off with, I think, Carter and Jed. He always does them. And then he had, I think he had Hap and Nico and Dansby, maybe. They were all on together. And then he had Joe. And Joe talked for, Joe, you put a microphone in front of Joe Madden. He's going to talk for a long time. Then they brought Lester out, and he was hammered. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. And it was. He started swearing, and he started like, he was trying to tell a story about walking from his house to Wrigley the afternoon of Game 5, and how the neighborhood was all charged up and all how cool it was. And he's like, well, I used to live, I don't know, where the fuck are we? And he's like pointing back, he's like behind it, like, where are we now? So I'm like, and he's like, you don't have to try to give directions to your house. And he told some funny stuff. Well, then the very last group, they bring out like Travis Wood, Jason Hayward. Johnny's still there. Lackey comes out.
Yeah. I thought I saw something like that.
Miguel Montero. I don't think Strope was part of that group.
Was Travis Wood like wearing like a
Travis came. This was actually funny. So when Travis gets introduced with all the people at the beginning, he comes out in his Cub jersey, the one they give him. He stops the middle stage. He takes the jersey off. He has a dress shirt under it. He takes the dress shirt off, and he has the sleeveless camo shirt that he wore to the parade.
Yeah.
Completely unbuttoned. And he wore that the whole rest of the night. So when they come back for the Dempster show, that's what he's wearing. He's still just wearing that.
That's wonderful.
And they were hammered. And Jason Hayward was swearing up a storm, which was hilarious. I did not expect him. And they asked him, he was talking about when he decided to come to the Cubs. And he's like, well, he said, I was on the Cardinals the year before, and we come over here and it's this really good team. And he's like, I was here. They hit 6 homers off us. He's like, I'll just say it. Schwarber's hitting shit over my head. One of them landed on the scoreboard, and they put a fucking box on it. It was great. And it started, Dempster's like, at the beginning, he's like, uh-oh, and he's kind of looking around, and nobody's stopping them, and he's finally like, fuck it. And they didn't care. They're just telling R-rated stories and swearing. And there's kids there, obviously, and it's live on marquee. Yeah. It was great.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And then they had a panel on Saturday, and it was Zobrist, Miguel Montero, Rizzo. Oh, Rizzo was there. Rizzo told
Was Zobrist wasted? I'm just kidding.
Huh? No, no. Justin Grimm.
Yeah. Oh.
Mike Montgomery. And is that everybody? And Strope.
Okay.
They were there, and they were much better behaved. It was Saturday afternoon. You could tell some of them were hungover. Grimm, who was like, I don't know why he's there, really. I mean, he goes, they ask him, like, what was one of the most memorable moments from the 2016 season? And he's like, well, for me, it was the double play. And he clearly referring to the one Puig grounded into the turn double play to win the pennant.
Yeah.
He's like, it's a place where I never heard it that loud. He said, but then, Miggy hits that grand slam and we go in the clubhouse afterwards and he's like, you see that shit? You see that shit? I got that fucker. And he's like yelling at the thing. And Ron Coomer's like, Justin, there's little kids here. And we're on TV, maybe not. And Justin's like, oh, he goes, my kids know all those words. But yeah, they told stories. Strop was really good.
Yeah.
And Montero was hilarious. Like he was great. And it just makes me mad. And Rizzo was great. Like Rizzo was, and I have a feeling I have a feeling Rizzo will start popping up on marquee now.
All right.
But it would really be nice if they found a thing for Strop and for Montero to do. Pedro speaks really good English, which I didn't know that I knew. Like, he really does.
Seems like a personable guy, too.
Yes, and he's really funny. Like, they need to inject some personality. And I know they're all rich. They all made a shitload of money. And they don't need to do this. But, I just feel like they could liven that stuff up with those guys who fans clearly really like. And Montero, it warmed my heart. Actually, Rizzo did it. Montero was talking about, this kid asked them, and I don't know why little kids are asking questions at the 2016 reunion. It's like, you weren't alive, but it's fine. Kid asked him, when you guys fell behind, did you think you were going to lose? Which of course is wrong, right?
Yeah.
They were never behind. They were tied.
Oh, but, wait, sorry, you mean in game
7?
Yeah.
When you fell behind, did you think you were going to lose? But they all gave good answers. Zobrist said, it's the only time I thought, oh my God, I think maybe we really are cursed.
Okay.
Like, how did that happen? And Montero goes, I thought we were going to lose. And he goes, but then in the 9th inning, Chappie had to get through Kipnis, Lindor, and Santana, and we did. And then I thought, Schwarber's coming up, we're going to win. And Rizzo stops him and says, he goes, Rossi always gives you credit for that, because you came in the 9th and you called all breaking balls, and Rossi was afraid to call anything but fastballs with Chapman. And
wait, he actually said that out loud?
Yes. And he goes, he doesn't think they could have got through the 9th. Ross wasn't there. Ross did come, but he wasn't on the panel. Okay. In fact, Ross did come to he was on the Friday night thing with Dempster.
Yeah. I
and they were giving him shit about his hair. Okay. He has a lot of hair. Like, why were you shaving your head? Like, he doesn't, like, he has a receding hairline, but he doesn't even have like a big bald spot. He's just got a lot of hair.
So hold on. So sorry, I want to go back to this. So they're kind of like throwing shade at Ross.
Rizzo said Ross is the one who said this.
Oh.
Like, Ross gives Montero credit for getting Chapman through the 9th. Because he's like, if I had been in there, I would have still been afraid to call anything but fastballs, which is the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Anthony wasn't throwing Ross under the bus, because this is apparently something Ross has actually said.
I see what you're saying.
Which actually I feel better about, the fact that Ross is self-aware enough to realize he almost fucked up the World Series.
Yeah, seriously.
But I really liked that. It gratified me, because it's a thing I've been harping on since it happened.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Basically, and then on the Friday night one, he was making fun of, Ross made fun of Lester for something. And he goes, oh yeah. He says, remember when when you took a fastball off the face mask and took 75 steps and fell down and 2 guys scored? And Ross is like, throw your pitch all the way to the plate. Which I thought was funny that they were arguing again. Funny. One of the things Rizzo said was, he said, this 10 years is perfect. He said, because we all love each other again.
Yeah.
He's like, it's been long enough. And he said, he was talking about a fight that Travis Wood and Strop almost got in on a plane one night when Travis was playing bartender and Strop spilled a drink all over the plane, and Travis was screaming at him, took his shirt off, and was trying to go, where's Stropey? He's going to try to beat him up. He's like, at the end of those 2 years, we had been together a lot.
Yeah.
And it kind of strained things. And he said, we still loved each other, but it was, you get tired of being around people. He said, 10 years now, all that stuff's gone. It's just everybody's.
Oh, that's cool.
They're, it's just fun to hang out. So they need to get used to doing reunions, because we know from the 69 Cubs, who didn't win a damn thing, that the Cubs will milk this forever.
Oh, God.
Like every 5 years, we're going to get another reunion.
Well, it's just when you said in July there'll be another one, right? Obviously, there will be one during the baseball season. Like, oh hell yeah, yeah. I mean, look what they do. They still trot out the 85 Bears.
Yeah. Well, they're not going to trot out the 25 Bears, but maybe the 26 Bears when they win the Super Bowl next year.
Count on it.
All right. Well, this was fun. I wish they had a couple more, two more completions, and Cairo kicks a field goal, and they're off to Siatke.
Ah, would have been something. Oh well,
but it didn't happen. And it's nice to have a loss to end a season that you can like get pissed off about instead of it being a mercy that the season's over.
Yes, like you're right.
Which is what we've been going through for quite a while. Like,
just it's all positive. Like this isn't the double doink in Philadelphia, right? Like this isn't. There's nothing. It's just good things happen. Like this is a young team. You gotta they just keep coming back. You got your franchise quarterback. You got your franchise head coach. You need you need one more amazing all-pro maybe somewhere on defense, and then you're off and running. And you just and it's wonderful. Like Loveland is only going to get better. Burton will only get better.
Well, I mean, this offense. I mean, I. It has to be. Ben can now go from whatever.
Yeah.
From this to the part of the offense he really wants to run.
Yeah.
Right. Like. Yes. You can't just. He couldn't just. They weren't the 2024 Lions.
Yeah.
They weren't ready to run a bunch of that shit. They weren't ready to do it now. Well, next year they will be ready to do that kind of stuff.
They got a whole off season. They've got a baseline now, and now they just build up on it. Like that's exactly right. Like that's how I feel about it. And they're young enough to be able to that it doesn't matter. There's no like the training wheels come off. Like there's going to be expectations, and they're going to be welcome.
Well, and I think the Packers have been nice enough to bring Matt LaFleur back. And the Vikings seem to think J.J. McCarthy is going to be their quarterback. So those two things make things easier.
And if they're not, maybe they go back and get Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, they could.
Yeah.
All right.
And then life's good.
All right. Well, thanks.
Thanks, Andy. See ya.
Many of us have herpes.
Post-game show is brought to you by Christ, I can't find it. The hell with it.
It's fitting. It's got to be done with one of the best games of all time. Just unbelievable. I mean, got to congratulate the Dolan family.
Thank you.
Sean, my podcast co-host Andy, you were his favorite player growing up.
Oh, thank you so much. Awesome.